All right.
Okay.
Randy and Marisa here with your Essential Italy. And in this video, we're going to talk about what we've been doing since we moved to Italy. And I'll show you guys clips and pics and all that stuff as well, so you can kind of see what we've been doing. Um, Marisa got here on
October 10th, and the dogs arrived the next day on October 11th. My mission as soon as I got here was to establish my residency. We have a rental through friends. So my first thing to do was to go to the comune, which is City Hall here, and let them know that I am living at this address. The my friend who owns the house had to fill out a piece of paper, a paperwork, a form with a copy of his passport and all of that information, and I presented that. And once that was done, it was easy peasy from there. You know, they established my residency, and then that way I could get my identity card, carta d'identità, and then following that, my tessera sanitaria, which is the health card, which you need for almost everything here. So that's basically the first step I had to go through.
So I arrived October 15th. And as you guys may or may not know, we were living in Florida, and we basically got tired of the high cost of living. We got tired of the hurricanes, just straight up. And September of 2022, Hurricane Ian came through our part of Florida and devastated it, to say the least. And then we've had subsequent hurricanes and tropical storms since then. Leading up to the actual day that Marisa left, October 10th, Hurricane Milton hit Southwest Florida, to the point that we had to drive and go up to Charleston, South Carolina, so she could catch her flight here, so the dogs wouldn't beat her to Italy. And it was a chaotic mess. And if you watch our other videos, you'll see where I talk about that
Yeah.
whole fiasco. It was
Yeah.
crazy. I flew out on the 15th. Again, in the other video, I talk about how I had to change airports. I had to do a lot of things. It was a mess. It really was.
Yeah.
And hurricanes are just messy. There's no getting around it. If you get hit by a hurricane, even if it doesn't damage your house, it damages the neighborhoods, the infrastructure,
Yeah.
the electrical's down. You can't get fuel. There's a lot of things that you can't do. And it's just, I lived in Florida for 22 years, and I'd had my fill of it. So, a beautiful state. Go visit it. Enjoy the beaches. Do all that. I don't recommend living there, though. We had picked this part of Italy at Castiglione del Lago because it is just stunningly beautiful, and the people that we have met have fully embraced us. Unfortunately for this video, I don't have pictures or video of them because I've never talked to them about doing this. And I always get permission before I would do that. So, but they're wonderful people. Everyone we've even met since we've been here this month has been amazing. They're very helpful. They tolerate my very bad Italian. I have to get used to, and this is something I would say to Americans in particular, you have to get used to being stared at. Okay. You also have to get used to being avoided. I've noticed a number of women in particular will cross the street, or they stop when I'm walking down the street with my wife.
I think you're overthinking
maybe I don't know, but it seems like it's like they don't know what to think of a tall, blonde, blue-eyed guy, and so it kind of throws them off a little bit. Anyway, so the past couple weeks has been interesting for us. We had to go car shopping, and that is it's a feat when you've never done that here before, because in Italy the bureaucracy is beyond even what you think it could be.
Yeah.
Just saying that. And I know you've seen other people talk about this, but until you experience it firsthand, you really aren't going to understand. And I say all the time, you just have to wrap yourself in patience, immense patience. So So we got we finally we went through. We were looking at different cars. We're driving different cars. We ended up landing on a car. So today is Sunday. We paid for the car on Monday this past week. We might be able to pick up the car maybe Thursday,
Next
Friday,
week.
Saturday next week. This week, the end of this week, maybe if all the paperwork's done
Yeah.
and we're able to get the insurance on it by
Yeah.
then.
Yeah.
So and that just kind of can give you an idea of the bureaucracy.
Yeah.
Nothing happens quickly.
For safety reasons, we ended up spending a little bit more than we had budgeted on the car. We did get a Toyota RAV4 used, um, automatic hybrid with gasoline, not diesel. So, I'm Italian. I shouldn't say this, but Italian drivers are the worst. And after you drive here for a while, you become just as bad. But it's kind of scary when you're like going on a curve here, and here all the roads are curvy, as you can imagine, up the hills, down the hills, and so on and so forth. And there's a car coming at you that's over the line, and you're like, oh my God, we're going to have a frontal here.
Right.
It's not because they don't pay attention. It's just that they're like, the road's mine, move over kind of thing, attitude. So, anywho,
Yeah.
so we wanted a safer car. The Toyota RAV4 checked off all that. So, but we did spend a little bit more than we had budgeted. So now we have to, look at other things that we plan to purchase, and we're gonna have to, we look at that. So.
Yeah, so the other thing we're doing, obviously, is we're looking for houses, and I didn't take video of every house we've gone and looked at because we'd be here for hours looking at the video. A lot of houses. um,
Wow.
a lot of the houses that you find here that are going to be in a reasonable person's budget, not a millionaire or multimillionaire. And we're talking about houses that are 200 to 300,000 euros. They still need a substantial amount of work, and that's what's really surprised both of us. I think we go into these houses, and you're like, yeah, this is a pretty pricey property for needing another 150,000 euros worth of work in it.
Yeah.
So we did find a property that we adore. It's a little farmhouse. It has lake views. It has olive trees. It has everything that we want in a property. We made our offer. After some back and forth, the offer was finally accepted. So we're in the bureaucracy process
Due
of
diligence
getting
process
the
as
property, inspected by the geometra, and then it'll go to the notario, and they'll make sure all the paperwork is good and that there aren't any liens. The one thing I would say that has really saved us tremendously is that we hired a lawyer.
Yeah.
And I would stress that do not do this yourself.
No.
Do not trust the realtors. Do not trust the realtors. Hire your lawyer to do this for you.
So basically what happens is this. When you're looking at homes, you could either contact the listing agent, and at that point, automatically, he becomes a transaction agent. Or you can hire a separate agent to work strictly with you. But again, they will only show you the houses that they have listings of. So we decided to have a lawyer because it'll give us the freedom to contact any real estate agent that we wanted to see any home that we wanted. In this case, the real estate agent now has become a transaction agent, and a point of contention is that they want us to use their forms. And in those forms, there's nothing that protects us. So the lawyer drafted up a new contract. And this is the back and forth that we've been having because my lawyer is protecting us. And not the seller, not the realtor. The realtor wants to get paid as soon as the offer is accepted, even if we decide to walk away from the house because there's structural issues, there's too much work to be done. So that has been a point of contention with this particular realtor. And we're kind of getting to the point where he's giving us 30 days before he gets his commission. Regardless, he wants to get paid. Now he's getting paid from both the seller and us. So it's it's a little bit of a
It's a lot of money. You have to, when you budget
yeah.
in, you have to budget in for that. The realtor's fee on the buyer's end is 3% in our case. But what they don't tell you is that you also pay, and I don't fully understand this. The lawyer tried to explain it. I still don't
Yeah,
get it.
yeah.
22% of the fee you pay him to cover their taxes.
It's a VAT on the
Um,
fee, so you're paying the 3% commission plus
yeah.
tax, which is 22%.
So you have to budget that in, as well as the other stamps and taxes that are in the
Yeah.
transfer of the home. And it's not anything that's different from the United States in particular. It's just we're not used to paying somebody's income tax for them. You know, that's essentially what it is.
Right.
So you have to kind of figure that in. And then the other thing that you have to do here that we haven't got to that part yet is you have to negotiate what actually stays in the house and what doesn't.
Right.
Because even if it's bolted down, they can take it. If you don't negotiate it in, you could lose the doors, the windows, the cabinets, the kitchen, everything. Like they could strip the house bare.
Yeah.
So we're headed to that process after the geometra goes through and does his thing with making sure the house doesn't have significant structural issues
or system issues like electrical and plumbing. And here the homes are, this is an old home. It's as old as I am, 1967. So, and I'm starting to feel it. So is the home. And so we need to make sure that, we're not purchasing a money pit. You want to be able to have heat in the house and not have to deal with it like we've been doing in this house, the rental house that hasn't been lived in. We've been having heating issues, boiler issues. These are things that unfortunately, when the house is not lived in, they take a toll. But this house is lived in, the house that we're looking at. So we're hoping that the systems work, that there's no issues with the heating, especially the heating, the electrical. And, again, we are looking to make this house energy efficient. So on top of purchasing the home, we have to invest in items that are going to make this house energy efficient. That is a high cost here in Italy to heat the home. The electricity is expensive. So, you have to do everything you can to make your house more energy efficient so that you don't drain your savings.
Io poi lavoro, faccio NCC, porto in giro i turisti, appunto adesso ero
ok, buono a
all'agriturismo.
sapere che noi abbiamo un'agenzia di viaggi in America e facciamo i tour.
Ok, allora dopo ci scambiamo anche i contatti.
Sì, perché he has a car service, he takes people around.
Ok. Allora, innanzitutto faccio vedere questa che noi abbiamo adibito a lavanderia.
Ok.
La caldaia, c'è un boiler perché sopra c'è un pannello solare, quindi che tiene l'acqua calda e fa comodo
They
perché...
have a solar panel. Okay. This is the kitchen.
Sì, questa I repainted walls in 2020 during
Okay,
COVID.
so
I was...
did you use a designer or somebody to do
No,
this?
just
Your ideas.
Same.
You did a really nice job.
thank you.
That's really cool.
Okay, as I said, the kitchen is included.
Right. Well,
Is
it's hard to take it out.
Freezer, fridge, freezer, then
Dishwasher.
dishwasher, oven,
Oh, gas.
gas.
See.
No, this is electric.
And I know, but the stove is gas.
Gas.
Yeah, I would
See.
want to change it to induction.
Sì.
Okay.
And there are, yeah. Free bed. Sì, sì, sì.
Oh, I'm the wrong one.
Bathroom with a shower.
Sì, 2 bathrooms with both-way showers.
Okay.
Questo è quel...
Il problema che abbiamo con le docce in Italia che
Sono un po'
piccole.
strette. Sì. Questo qua è perché praticamente in origine, cioè, ti dico com'era la casa, sostanzialmente c'era qua il corridoio, fino a qua, poi c'era la porta per la cucina, questa era un'altra porta, poi c'era un bagno e 2 camere. Quindi di una camera abbiamo fatto il bagno. Esatto, quindi diciamo che il bagno non...
Oh,
Questo è
yeah, I
il
guess.
bagno più nuovo.
Bagno senza la doccia però.
No, c'è la doccia dietro.
Ah,
Qua
qua
dietro.
dietro.
Sì.
Oh, eccola, sì.
Sì, non sono enormi però. E questa è la stanza un po' più piccola.
Questa qui è la più piccola.
Questa è la
There's
più
a smaller room
Smaller,
and then you have a bigger room
Sì.
here.
All right.
3 bedrooms. I
Sì.
mean, that's not bad.
All right.
This is big.
Sì. Diciamo che qui.
A lot of time obviously spent on the house and on negotiations, but in the meantime we have done some other things. We took our 2 big dogs to the groomer, found a groomer, got them to the groomer. They got their baths done and the nails trimmed, and it's awesome now because and they even we have a German Shepherd and we have a Border Collie and we have a little Pomeranian as well, but the groomer actually de-shedded both dogs.
Right.
So
for 35 euros, folks. That's $40 each.
So it was well worth the money.
Oh, God,
and
yeah.
If any of you have a German Shepherd, you know they have a double coat and they just shed like crazy. They actually turn their coat over every 7 days.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. We went to a local. There's something here in Toro called Living Toro, and the government here has basically set up these different hot spots for you to visit that are historical, if you will. So there's a whole system of stops for the Battle of Trasimeno. You can go see all those. We went on the trail a little bit. I'm not going to throw those pictures in on this video. It's not that impressive, honestly.
It's a nice walk.
But it's a nice walk.
Woods,
Yeah, it's a nice walk down
Yeah.
the trail, and you get to see
Yeah.
the lake. And Lago Trasimeno is gorgeous. So there's one right by our house though that we did go see, and I will throw some video in on that. And you can also see the full video with the drone footage, and that is Torre Pendante at Vernazzano. Now, Torre Pendante just simply translates to leaning tower. So if you type that in your Google search, you're going to go to Pisa. What's interesting about this tower is that it has a 13-degree slope, whereas Pisa has a 4-degree slope. So this tower is really leaning.
Yeah. It's kind of scary.
It is a little scary, but it's neat. And I'll have the pictures up for you.
This used to be a church.
All right, this is Randy and Marisa with Your Essential Italy, and we are at Torre Pendente, which is the leaning tower of Vernanzano, if you will. This thing actually leans more than the tower in Pisa. It looks like to me that it would fall over if it wasn't for the cables holding it up, that it would have already gone. There's a church, an old church here. Chiesa di Santa Maria della Traschi e Annesso Ospedale. That's a mouthful. What else did we do? We went to...
Well, we went to Castel Rigone, which is also nearby here. It's a cute little medieval town. Small. It wasn't that.
No, it's a cute town.
We're doing local stuff. We're trying to stay close to the...
Because as Florida transplants here, it's cold. I'm not going to pull any punches on that. We're used to it being, 85, 87, 90 degrees outside Fahrenheit, and now it's 34, 36, 40, 45 degrees. It's cold. And we're up on a mountain, and the wind just really cuts through.
Yeah.
So but we knew this moving here, and we knew it was going to be a
Yeah.
little colder, and we'll adapt. We'll get used to
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, we got layers on.
we got layers. The dogs love it, by the way, because they got the
Yeah,
big coats and they
yeah,
love going out
yeah.
and being outside.
We also went to Toddy yesterday.
Randy and Marisa here with your Essential Italy.
Glutton for punishment.
Gluttons for punishment today. We're in Todi. We're not actually in Todi yet, but we're heading to Todi on a footpath. The line for the funicular was significant, and we said screw it, let's just walk. This is a muscle burner, people, just letting you know. Something smells good.
It's a bombolone. It smells like a bombolone.
Yeah, look at this little fountain. I don't know if you can see that. Fonte Tessia.
Here's the park.
Here's the park. Yeah. Oh, the sun's coming out. It's going to warm up a little bit. Start stripping off some of these layers soon.
Instead of climbing up all the stairs.
Yeah, look at all that. Look at all that work. Oh my gosh, that is crazy. All the artisans that worked on this thing. It's an amazing piece of history and architecture.
And then on our way back, we went to Città della Pieve, to one of Randy's favorite restaurants, Da Silvana. The food was excellent.
The food is just stupid good
Yeah.
there. It's you can see my smile. It's so good. Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
yeah.
And the lady that owns it, the chef, she's something else, and yeah, oh my gosh.
She's a character.
But the food is beyond.
Yeah.
We really haven't found a bad restaurant here yet. And we've been trying a lot of them, but
Well, we found our local place here.
Yeah.
That it's just down the street, and they're really nice. We had pizza the other night.
it was very good.
Sometimes we go and have lunch there. We're just trying to meet people, be out there, mingle. Of course, I'm a talker, so everybody I meet, I'm telling, I'm looking for a house. If you know anybody who's selling, because we are, you have to have a backup plan. If this one house that we're looking at doesn't work out, we still need to find a permanent solution, because we cannot be here more than a few months. We're guests at our friend's house, so we don't want to overstay, kind of thing. So
Yeah, it's his summer house, and he's already let us know. April, May, they're going to start wanting to come back in and use it with him and his kids, his grandkids, all that. So, and we understand that.
Right,
we appreciate
absolutely.
it. Rentals are hard to find
and non-existent.
they're non-existent in this area right now.
Yeah.
So. Just another heads up for everybody. If you can stay in Airbnbs, you can, while you're trying to transition, but it can get very expensive doing that.
Yeah. We for a hot second, we also considered Tuscany again, because I do have a lot of friends in Tuscany. And, it would be easier to probably find a job, because I'm still considering that as an option as well. And, but honestly, I don't know. We would have to start from scratch and go research places and, just find a house. It's just too much. I think we made the right decision to stay here because we know where we are. We have friends here as well. we're starting to build a network of people to help us. And so I want to stick with that, as long as we can. And then maybe, a few years from now, if we say, oh, it's, we don't want to be here anymore, we can look at some other places. But I think we made the right decision. This is where we want to be. And right now,
So I want to touch on real quick. Our situation is going to be different from most. So I know a lot of people follow, and we do as well, other people on YouTube that are in Italy. And a lot of those people, if they're not Italian citizens, they're here on an early retirement visa. Right. And so it's a little different for them. They have an income coming in. They are restricted to that they can live here. They cannot work here. So it's a restricted visa, obviously. When you're an EU citizen or an Italian citizen, you can work here.
We were saying about that.
We were talking about, sorry, the SD card filled up. So I had to change it out. So because Marisa is an EU citizen and I'm married to her, both of us can work here. We can live here as long as we want. She can vote. You have to be a citizen to vote. But I can do everything except vote. So that's the plan. My paperwork will go in this week for my permesso di soggiorno, and it'll be 100% legal at that point. But right now it's not a big deal.
Right. I'm planning on possibly starting a consulting agency, especially for folks who need assistance to get through the bureaucracy, even just having somebody accompanying them or speaking in Italian to officials and explaining the situation. So because I'm going through it and, I feel like I could be an assistance to other folks that need help that way. Again, I'm fluent in Italian. I got a little bit of a attitude, so I can get things done. So, I'm a Jersey girl. So, definitely, if anybody needs assistance or needs somebody to talk to an official in Italian on their behalf, that's something that I'm planning on starting. I think, especially in this area, in the Tuscany area that's nearby, I'm sure there's going to be folks that are going to be needing that kind of help. So I've even already spoken to the post office, and they said, yeah, that'd be awesome if somebody comes in and doesn't speak, Italian, they only speak English, you'd be perfect to help assist. So anyway, that's my plan for now. And as well, we have our tours, and we
still do our escorted tours. The next one will be in May of 2025.
Yeah.
You can go on our website and check it out. Everyone that comes on them has a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun. If we only get a couple of couples that go, we'll customize it for you guys. Even you don't have to follow the itinerary on there if you don't want to. And we're still exploring here as well. And if we find new vineyards or farms or things to do, activities, medieval cities, anything like that we find that we think is going to either add value or improve on the tour, we'll certainly make those changes.
Yes.
The other thing that we did that I just now thought about, we had to get our GPL tank filled up here at the house. And that's pretty fun. And I'm going to show you some short videos of that as well. Liquid propane GPL in because it's getting colder. And because this is such a skinny road, this guy's having a really hard time getting turned around and getting up here where he can get into the driveway. It's like, we got it. We're gonna get a full tank. Last us all winter now. Alright, so apparently they don't have to drive around to the back. He's got like miles of hose that he can take and go back. So see what happens.
He was not happy.
Because the driver was not happy. And you'll see why in the video. He just was not happy.
Yeah.
But we got some GPL in, and hopefully it'll get us through the winter.
And again, I had to call the plumber because the radiators weren't working. So we had to have him come and check out the system. Then I had to call the technician for the water heater, and twice they came out. Again, we were without heat for a couple of nights, and it was a little bit brutal, but we ended up buying an electric heater to keep in the bedroom. Yeah, I mean, these are things, hiccups that are going to happen when you are here in Italy and you're renting or you're purchased a home. And it's always good to have somebody that can speak the language
Absolutely.
to discuss and explain what's going on. Again, that's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
My services could be helpful. But it was fun. I mean, it's hopefully it's working now.
It is working now.
Somewhat, but we were kind of it's chilly in the house,
And given what Marisa just said about having help, we've been here a month, and it's Sunday, and we just got our trash picked up for the first time on Friday.
Yeah.
And she has been
on the phone
on them like harsh.
Yeah.
And actually, we were going down the mountain one day, and we stopped in Vernazzano because the trash truck was there at the bar. The guy's getting a coffee, and she shanghaied him.
Yes. I go, let me out of the car right now. And I went into the bar, and he's like there smoking his cigarette, hanging out. And I said, listen, I'm the one you called. I'm up there on the mountain. When are you coming to get the garbage? Oh, we're coming this Friday. Well, Friday comes along and nobody shows up. Here I am. It's like 5 o'clock at night. It's almost dark. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to take the garbage in. I just take the garbage back in from outside of the gate, and he shows up. I'm like, really, dude? I mean,
now we've agreed, because the trash service here in this community,
we're a little bit remote up here.
They have paper pickup one day, plastic one day, in differentials one day. So he said, look, I'll pick up your paper on one Friday. I'll pick up your plastic and indifference on the other Friday. So we're going to alternate.
Yeah.
And it was a good compromise, because it is a difficult road to come up.
But we do have a neighbor, Luciano, who's awesome. He got on the phone and called some big shot on the Comune at the city hall and said, listen, these people are here. You got to come get their garbage.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that was the reason.
It could be that,
yeah, because they all know each other.
It's who you know. And again, I highly recommend, when you're here, if you're here visiting and you're looking for a house, to meet people, to talk with them, make friends. Italians are wonderfully friendly people. They really, really are, especially here in Umbria. They just seem like over the top friendly. And they want to help you. They welcome Americans in. It's amazing, believe it or not. We've had dinner at Kathy and her husband's house.
Yeah, that was fun.
It was a lot of fun. And these are people we literally met while we were on vacation. We meet them at the Agritrismo we're staying at, and then we start chatting and talking and friend each other on social media and have calls and emails and whatnot.
They've been outstanding.
A lot of fun. So we're going to continue to update you guys, shoot more video throughout the week, and I'll post. We're going to post every Sunday like we have been doing, and hope you like and subscribe and follow us. And again, check out our website, youressentialitaly.com. You can see the tours that we offer. You can see t-shirts and stuff that we sell as well. You gotta try to make a buck. So
yeah.
All right.
Bye. Have a great Sunday.